Hey there, guys! Welcome to another Robidoux Row live stream here on June 11th. Today we're going to be talking about a very fascinating member of St. Joe history, and we're actually giving you guys a little hint of who we're talking about by this epine right here behind me. This was his epine. It is one of two that exist in our town, and it's a really, really cool piece. We'll get some pictures put up of it, so you guys can see some of the intricate pieces of it because it's got some fascinating on there. But I'm going to hand it over to Brooke here real quick, and she's going to tell us a little bit about our special character today.
Hi, so today we're going to talk about Elijah Gates. He is most notable for his role as the 14th state treasurer from 1877 to 1881. There was some other important tidbits about his life that we're going to talk about today. He was enlisted in the Civil War, so he was an active participant in that. He did enlist in the Confederate Army.
Ooh.
Yeah, so a little naughty there. But he went on to act as captain of the Company A of Missouri State Guard and then colonel of the 1st Missouri Confederate Cavalry, the Morgan Division. He did a lot of moving around during that time. He actually formed a regiment at Springfield and served under General Sterling Price. So he was moving around a lot, and he was in a lot of entanglements during that time. The Missouri troops were moving around in Mississippi and then Alabama, and he was in so many battles that in one particular battle he actually lost an arm.
Wow. Well, seems like that's not a good way to go through battle, is losing your arm.
Yeah. And so if you can, our pop quiz today is if you can accurately tell me if he lost his left or his right arm. If you get it right, then we'll send you a prize.
Sounds good.
You have to guess which arm he lost. So he was recovering during this time when he lost his arm, and he actually was captured by the enemy. And when he was captured, he was actually able to escape a time later and rejoin his crowd, his regiment. Yeah. And then the last battle was Blakely, Alabama, that he was in. And that was the same day that General Lee surrendered to Ulysses S. Grant at
Appomattox.
I can't say that. In 1865. General Price said of Gates that he was the bravest man that he had ever known, the bravest. And in his obituary, it was actually published in the St. Joe newspaper, said of Gates that Gates had been wounded at least 5 times. He had 4 horses shot out underneath him.
Wow.
Yeah. And then he was captured by the federal forces 3 times. So, and there were 2 escapes that I've been able to read about during this time. With him. Now, after the war, he returned to St. Joe. He had a family farm here, and he was actually elected sheriff of Buchanan County in 1874. In 1876, he was elected state treasurer, so the 14th state treasurer that we have, and served until 1881. He had 2 people under his employ. There was a clerk, cashier, and a bookmaker. He received $3,000 a year, which is how much?
We'll pop it up. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but we'll definitely pop up the amount.
Yeah, and then President Cleveland actually appointed him a U.S. Marshal of Whittler, Missouri?
I think is what we found.
Whittler, Missouri. So he was a pretty busy guy. Later in his life, he just couldn't seem to stop. There wasn't much of retirement for him. He dabbled in a little bit of this and that after he was a U.S. Marshal. And it is noteworthy to mention his wife. He had gotten married in 1852 to a lady named Maria Stamper, who is actually buried at Mount Mora.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I was able to dig up her obit So we'll share that picture with you also. And they had 12 kids together.
Wow.
Boop, 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 boop. So long life, busy life. And he was born in 1827 in Kentucky. And at that time, he was actually a son of a large plantation owner. So, it kind of forecasts maybe some reasoning behind why he went to fight for the Confederate Army. His dad died when he was 8 years old, and the family uprooted and moved to the St. Joe, Buchanan County area in 1846. And that's where, the young man grew into what he ended up being.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So obviously, you heard the 1846 date. So obviously he was part of that westward movement. His mom probably moved here with that westward movement that we covered here at the museum. So we did want to give you guys, like I said, a snapshot of Elijah Gates. He's one of St. Joe's more interesting sons. Like we said, he was the treasurer of the state of Missouri. He was a U.S. Marshal. He was a sheriff.
Yep.
He was a soldier. He kind of was a jack of all trades. Which was very...
I have one more finger. What else was he?
we also know that he was a businessman at the end of his life.
Oh, and he was a father.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we know that he was a very busy man, very similar to most of the people we cover here in St. Joe in that era, where you have a lot of people who have their fingers in a lot of different pies. Even our founder, Joseph Robidoux, was known to own different businesses, help with banking after being a fur trader and having a bakery.
Dabble in politics a little bit.
Kind of that era's way.
Yeah.
So we also want to talk a little bit what's going on here at the Row. As many of you guys do know, in August there is a special bicentennial celebration here in St. Joe called Steam to Steam. We, the Historical Society and the Robidoux Row, are involved with it, and we'll be working with the history section. So if anyone is interested and is going to be in the area at that time and would love to dress up and act like they're from 1840s, let us know. We're looking for volunteers for that. That we would love to get you guys in there so you guys can kind of...
Can I dress up?
Oh yeah, definitely. We're both...
Okay.
Brooke and I are both dressing up, so we'd love to have some other people there. Along with that, the Row does have a few new exhibits going to be opening up this very soon. I know we're working on one today that should be available soon. That's going to be really interesting. And then we have another one that we talked about a couple weeks ago that's in the works as well. So definitely do come by and see those. And then, of course, we do still have our Steps to the Past area in the back. We'd love for you guys to come experience it. It's a very fascinating area, especially with the stuff that came from the Oregon-California Trail that really just brings the whole room together. So thank you guys so much for joining us. And again, guess which arm it was that he lost, and we will definitely get you guys a prize involved with that. We had someone who guessed correctly a couple weeks ago with our guess of what the new exhibit was. So,
he won a prize.
He did. So definitely let us know down in the comment section here what you think which arm it was. In fact, I don't even know the answer yet, so Brooke's going to have to answer it for me soon. Along with that, let us know if there's another person in history of St. Joe that you're super interested in. Is there someone where you've heard their story and you want to know more about them? Or, if you have a story you want to tell, let us know. We would love to interview you for that, to look into their history. So thanks so much for joining us here today. Come see us here at the Row. We are open 10 to 4 Wednesday through Saturday. Our gift shop has been redone, so we have all kinds of amazing, interesting historical and non-historical items. And we'd love to see you guys come here. So thanks so much for joining us. Bye.
Take a step back in time.